Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, one of the co-hosts and business partner James Mason, where our goal every day is to bring you insights and ideas into your daily trading activities. Congratulations, James, on the Atlanta Braves win last night.
Well, it's to be expected.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well.
All right, everyone. So currently Dow futures are up 36 points. S&P 500 is up 3.5 points. And overall, when the market is just kind of going flat like that at this point pre-market, it usually ends up being a choppy day. So I did see some reports come through that like September durable goods were, fell short. So expect some volatility in the markets today. And if you are long, make sure you have a stop loss in. Just remember that. And that's the show. Thank you all for tuning in today.
Right.
Other than that, let's see what we got pre-market, Todd.
There's one ticker that's showing some excitement. Ticker KAVL, KAVL Brands Innovations Group.
All right. Ticker KAVL.
The volume is what first attracted me. Right now, it's go ahead and give the outstanding shares. They've traded over 29 million shares already.
You know what, Todd, this is more important. So I have to marquee this. Aaron Sparks, thank you. Thank you for an honest statement right here.
Truth be told, I like that. Good job, Aaron.
Yeah. Glad someone's being honest in the comment section.
Finally.
All right.
Finally.
Ticker KAVL. So we have already turned more volume than their entire outstanding share structure. So this is one that will be worth watching today, especially for day traders. Now for swing traders, as of right now, I don't know about swinging this thing. This is going to be the stock that day traders will focus on today, both long and short. And we'll just have to see if this thing can hold up and we can get some little bounciness going on some channels. But let's just start off on a daily chart. So first off, let's keep in mind that they just came off a stock split back in July, and it was a pretty decent stock split, 1 to 12. And then we have this gap down right here. Now, what has happened, or what has tried to happen so far in pre-market, is it's tried to close that gap. We didn't quite get there, but just around 435 will be closing a gap. And that is the key factor in how to play this today. So we know around 435 starts to close the gap. But usually what happens when the gap closes is it will tend to kind of push up a little bit more past it. So let's go back to the 5-minute chart. Now, they did have some kind of FDA. I just briefly looked at it. It didn't really look too significant in terms of like a strong bullish catalyst, but it was clearly enough significance to turn this much volume pre-market. And it had, again, I briefly looked at it. It said something about like an FDA administration something. Hell, I don't know. It wasn't like FDA approval.
Yeah, they issued an administrative stay of BD vapors with their flavored ends. So there's something happened in the vaping industry. I'm trying to read about it right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know anything about vaping, so this, I don't know. It really doesn't seem like significant news for me, but clearly there is significance here for it to turn this much volume. So we have to play it based off what the charts tell us anyways. Now, we need to see, hold on a second. All right. we need to see how this is going to hold up overall on the 5-minute chart. We do have this MACD rolling over, but I'm kind of expecting the MACD to go flat, and we have a bounce. And this will be the tricky part because we're coming up on the bell here in about 23 minutes. So we could have this little fake bounce. It comes up here, slightly breaks pre-market highs, possibly go up to about 435, top out, and it get the crap shorted out of it. So that is one strong scenario right here. Now, there is enough room here to pull profits both ways. So, depending on the setup, excuse me, guys. Depending on the setup, if we can get this to consolidate, and with these setups, with these day trade setups, this is something that you don't really go heavy into, just so you can control, your trade, your cash flow, and everything. But we need to see if it's going to come down a little bit more and consolidate on this middle Bollinger Band line. If it does, or if it even consolidates on this range at 240. If we can consolidate there, this thing might be worth taking a smaller position to catch a bounce at the bell. And again, like this is like something, when I say at the bell, this wouldn't be like an entry right now because, we still have these candles pushing straight down. We need to see some sideways action first, at least a couple of candles. But if we can get that to happen, take a smaller position, I would not really hold it past 240. Maybe you can give it a little bit more range, but I would not hold it really past 240 just because this thing could really just get hammered down and turn back into nothing. But we could pick off some profits here, catch this bullish bounce at the bell, sell off, because likely this thing is going to get shorted. Now for the short side, I would wait to see if this thing actually went up to about 435, and I would not chase it on the bullish run. What I would like to see in that short side, that bearish setup, is something like this. It make that bullish run up with candles like this, top out. Once I see it top out, start to scale in. A lot of times with these, if you put up the Bollinger Band lines, a lot of times with these candlestick setups, like right here, if you have the Bollinger Bands up, you'll see it will top out. And then what usually happens is there'll be one more strong spike. So I would see a setup like this. I would take a smaller position. And then if I saw that strong spike, take off up and then kind of stagger out wherever it does, that's when I would start scaling in the rest of the way and then write it down. So that is what I'm looking at in both directions for KAVL.
On that second spike up, where do you think it would top out at if you had a guess?
Maybe just a little bit more over 435. I don't really think it. It could, and it's so hard to say right now, just because we need to see the momentum actually take place, if and when it does. But we would have a strong resistance. If it really took off running bullish, we would have a strong resistance around this 86 EMA line, and that value would be approaching that $5.20 mark.
Got it.
So that is what I see for KAVL.
All right.
They've already turned 31.3 million shares this morning in volume.
Yeah, while you're talking about it, they moved over 2 million shares in the last few minutes. So it's got a lot of eyes on it.
Yeah. So Billy, your question is, what about fun? Deal with Epic? the fun trade's over. So once something takes off running like that, like you get out and move on. I mean, I don't understand, like, a lot of times when traders they'll have an epic run. I mean, literally, they'll hold on to positions, for a catalyst play in something like fun PHUN for months. And then when the catalyst happens and it takes off running, making astronomical profits, they still try to keep playing it. I don't get it. So even when something makes an epic run like this, no pun intended that they just made or had a deal with Epic, but this was nothing less than an epic run for fun. But after something makes a run like this, it doesn't matter what deals or anything that they make after that. The trade's over. You just have to take your capital and move on.
The reality is that fun was short squeezed, and that really changes how you're going to, if you're going to even play that market again, because if it's not getting short squeezed again, it's going to have a hard time getting over $20 again.
I don't think you'll see over $20 again.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it would take an incredible high-end short squeeze again.
Here you go, baby. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I need my straw. Thank you. Hi, baby. I love you. All right, I had to pay her tax.
That's funny. All right, want to hit the comments?
Yeah, let's see what we got going on.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
I saw we had a few trolls in the comments this morning.
You know what? That only means we're doing something good.
I know. It makes me happy that they woke up this morning to jump into my live stream. Like, they wasted their time. Goodness.
Ticker we might want to take a look at is LCID, Lucid Group. They started delivering, Recon put it in there, but I also saw a news thing on it. They started doing deliveries, and they're having a nice run up this morning. They're up 5%.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so for LCID, what I would kind of watch out for, and the setup is not there. I mean, this is a strong push up right here. Currently pre-market. But I would personally like to see, and we might as well just round it up to $30. I would like to see it break above $30, which would be breaking above all these little highs back here to get a little push. Now, I would expect strong resistance around that $35 range. But what tends to happen a lot of times, we're looking at the daily chart, and we can find that breakout point right at $30. Pre-market, we are currently at the high 27s, almost 28. And the issue here is this strong bullish push right now. So if this thing really pushed up to 30, going into the bell, I'll really pulling back. And when I say pulling back is just not one red candle. But if it's pushing up like this with no real pullback and it triggers at 30, that's a no-go. You can't have something that moves this much, 3-4 points up to the trigger price and it trigger, and then you think about going long for that breakout, because it's just not going to happen. It will actually end up getting shorted there. We need it to ease up to those trigger points, those breakout points. So if this thing, creeped up here to this $28 range and then kind of pulled back, cooled off, did whatever, and then pushed up later to say $29, pulled back, cooled off, and then pushed up to $30 and then I'd be okay with it. But if we would see this thing just like continuously push up to 30 without like pulling back, I would hold off. But $30 is where I'm looking for a breakout on LCID. We just don't have a clean setup there for an entry. So keep that in mind, guys. Again, big factor here. I mean, we're still 2.25 points away from that trigger, that breakout price. But the big factor is if this thing would keep pushing up to 30 without pulling back, that's a no-go. It will actually end up getting shorted there. So we need it to creep and then later on break out. So keep that in mind. Now, if it broke above 30, say tomorrow, that's a whole different story. And that's good. So, Johnny, thank you for the tip.
Good morning, Johnny. Thank you.
All right, let's see what else we got.
You get a chance, you got to go over to our Discord and take a look at. There's a photo over there. All right.
Well, that's actually pretty good.
Someone's asking about JNUS. I don't know what it's halted, but I don't. Obviously, there's something coming out. We're not sure what the news is going to be about that.
Let's see. Let me take a look. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the news is, but this is looking like a short squeeze for real. I saw someone in the comments talking about Artie Reagan mentioned a short squeeze. Yeah. So we can obviously see the daily candlestick yesterday on JNUS. I mean, it's massive. And then, I'm sorry, the day before, massive candlestick. And then yesterday, this textbook doji, literally. But pre-market, we're kind of sitting where we closed out at yesterday. So let's go to the 5-minute chart. That's what we look at. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to look up some news here. Okay, I don't see any news for today. But short interest on JNUS. 49.4 million shares being short. Almost 18% on the float. Days to cover 8.4 days. Shares outstanding, just shy of 301 million shares.
They have a conference call at 10:30 today. So if they're looking to announce news and they've got it halted, there must be something. There's the appearance that there could be something very positive coming.
This is going to be an interesting play today. This is going to be one of those plays. I mean, with that much short interest and how strong it is on the daily chart. Man, let's see.
This could be a really epic short squeeze if the news is really strong.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's really just going to be dependent on the news entirely. But man, I hate to gamble, but this one might be worth. It might be worth a very small position just to see, maybe like 1,000 shares whenever they open back up. But what will happen here is when this thing opens, we're going to see strong bullish candlesticks shoot up, and then it's going to shoot right back down. I mean, this is going to happen quick. And then it's going to chop around really quickly, and then it will probably start taking up, and we'll start experiencing halts, everything. So what I would do is I would just place an alert, somewhere above these candles, say at like 193. That way, if you're sitting in front of your computer, and I say computer because you do not need to do this on your phone. This will happen way too quick, but set alerts. You will need to trade this on your computer, and you will need to have the time dedicated to trade this. If you're at your job today, this trade is not for you. It will be way too volatile. You won't be able to focus. So just set some alerts right above those candlesticks, and whenever they open back up with news or whatever they're going to do, there's a good chance that those candlesticks will open up, spike up, set those alerts off for you. That way you can be notified on it and get your eyes on it, and then just start taking some small positions. Now, I would not get heavy into this thing at all. We're talking about trading halts here. This can get crazy. This can literally, you can literally make an entry here, and it doesn't even matter what the news is, but you can make an entry here, and if enough people slam like sell orders, this thing could halt down and just send this bad boy screaming down to oblivion.
If this opens after the market, which I suspect that's going to be the case, it's probably going to have an immediate halt, because I think there's a lot of conversations like we're having right now, a lot of eyes that would pile into it. So, and at $1.89 is when it closed, or when it halted this morning. It doesn't take much to put it into to give it a halt up or down.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you have to be sitting in front of your computer. This ain't something to trade on your phone at work. You will get destroyed at work if you try to trade not only this halt, but any halts off of your phone. Like, your phone is not going to be able to keep up with this.
We're about 4.5 minutes to the open of the market.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up right there, because, I mean, other than that, there's not much more going on pre-market. So, all right, guys, we appreciate it. If you haven't yet, if you're not a follower or subscriber to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. It kind of doesn't make any sense to show up every day if you're not subscribed. You know what? If you like Beyonce said, if you like it, you better put a ring on it. So, all right, guys, everybody, remember, trade safe, trade smart, and we will see y'all in the next one.
Have a good day.